Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
All right, guys, today's episode of Believe You Me is brought to you by Ridge Wallet. That's right. You've heard us talk about these before. They are the futuristic, slimline, contemporary, cool, whatever you want to say.
Sexy.
These wallets, sexy. I like that, Lewis. They are fantastic. I know you have one on you right now.
Look at this. Look at this. People are like, what is that? Is that like a credit card from the future? I'm like, no. This is the Ridge Wallet right here. I got my credit cards. I got my Metro card. I got everything in there. Minimalist. I don't keep any extra business cards, little piece of paper, fortunes from a fortune cookie. It makes everything nice and slick. I keep it right in my front pocket. When I pull this out, panties start dropping, Mr. Bisping.
Stop. Are you Bruce Wayne? With your futuristic gadgets and stuff? Oh my God, I knew there was something about you. You must be, because I see the Batman t-shirt and now you're pulling out carbon fiber, slimline, futuristic wallets.
I know.
My God, your cover is blown.
A lot of people thought it was my utility belt. No, this is just my Ridge Wallet, okay? And Ridge Wallet, it's an incredible company, really high-end, really beautiful. If you have a man in your life that birthday coming up or you need to buy them a gift, this is such a really cool gift. And you have your Ridge bag, which you literally, this guy brings his Ridge bag everywhere. I'm like, Michael Bisping, put the Ridge bag away. We get it. You love the company.
The wallet has nothing on the back. Guess what? It has a USB charger in there. You can charge your phones. It's sleek. It's kind of like the wallet, but it's a backpack. I bring this mother sucker everywhere with me. Listen, check out all the products, but the wallet, you will not be disappointed. You really won't. You know, get rid of that old-fashioned wallet that your grandma gave you and get with the times. And if you want to do that, please go to ridgewallet.com/BYM. And if you use the code BYM, you're going to get 10% off, okay? Get a fancy new wallet. Get a nice new backpack. Check out all of their products by going to ridgewallet.com/BYM. Use the code BYM. You're going to get 10% off. Thank you. All right, let's start the show.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world,
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Believe You Me podcast with Luis J. Gomez and myself, Michael Bisping. I am in South Africa still. I know a lot of people are bitching, saying we need more regular uploads. Listen, 2 a week, doggy, Lewis.
It's a big
That's
deal.
not bad.
First of all, 2 a week. And this one, I think we figured out a video solution. So as long as all things go well, we're back on fucking video. You get to see Michael Bisping's shishi, bougie African hotel room, which is great. Thank you very much for the memes. All of the creative people out there that were able to articulate your story of being chased by Africans via meme form. Very, very funny. We got to put some of those out on the Believe You Me Instagram. But I'm glad to see that you survived. You've been in no more trouble. Has everything been okay since you were nearly murdered?
Yeah, so far so good. Production are moving my hotel because it's a very dangerous part. I might have said that the other day. We are on video, and I did forget about that. I haven't got gel in my hair, Lewis. Jeez Louise. I think the podcast might get cancelled. I haven't got gel in my hair. Can we pause this real fast and I'll go stick some product in?
No, you're kidding. You're not.
I am kidding about pausing it, but I haven't got gel in my hair. Jesus Christ, Lewis, play along, baby boy.
No, I don't think he is kidding about pausing it. If I just said yes, we'll pause it right now. This motherfucker would have went and done his hair. He would have literally went to the bathroom and put product in his hair. You look good. What do you?
I try.
That's what women want, by the way. Women don't want a guy who even gives a fuck. They want a guy who rolls out of bed and is fucking rugged and just doesn't care. That is what a woman. Any chick who wants a guy who's like done up and fucking. You know, it's not a real
No. Yeah, but let's try and not digitize. Remember from the other day. But listen, I will tell you this. It was on the instructions of my wife, Miss Rebecca Bisping, when I grew ahead of her after getting knocked out against Dan Henderson in 2009. Cold, one of the worst knockouts in the history of the fucking UFC. After that, I was like, yeah, I think a change needs to come. The skinhead, as worn itself out, and perhaps I need a little bit of cushioning to help cushion the blows if they come in future. So I started growing my hair, and it was Rebecca that said, Michael, please don't go out the house with, if you're going to have hair, you have to have hair gel or some form of product in the hair.
So technically, what I'm saying, when I'm attacking this type of woman, you're saying that I'm attacking Rebecca Bisping.
No, I'm just saying that you're wrong, and you don't know what women want. You are not Mel Gibson, okay, in that terrible 90s movie.
Wouldn't that be the worst? Imagine you could hear what all women are saying, like as you're near them. I mean, you would kill yourself within an hour. That's that.
Imagine if you were Harrington and you could hear what all the women thought when you got close to them.
Imagine you were Harrington and you could hear what anybody thought when you got close to them.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, Harrington. We wasted no time picking on you there, buddy. I hope you're well back there. We have a new producer, by the way. We have Brian at the helm. We haven't really spoke about Brian. Shannon's gone. She left us. She ditched us. Yeah. Fuck Shannon. But Brian, welcome to the fold, my friend.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, Brian's a great producer here at Gas Digital. And to be honest with you, I don't want to be sexist here, but you know, now that Shannon's gone, we could just be honest about this. You don't want a woman behind the fucking the steering the ship. I'm just saying, this is a very important. Have you ever flown and then a woman's voice comes over the loudspeaker and it's a woman captain? And you're like, fuck, we're probably gonna die.
100%, many times. And I will say this, I do have those thoughts. I flew last year to Rochester, New York, and I landed somewhere like small, and I got on this tiny little plane, and there was like one row of seats on one side and one row of seats on the other side. Sounds like a private jet. No, it wasn't a private jet. It was a shitty little rinky-dink airline and a terrible old plane. And then to top it off, this woman gets on the plane and introduces herself, not even over the speaker. Hi, everybody. We're all crunched over, head near the top. Hi, everybody. I'm your captain. She looked about fucking 90. I'm like, oh, my God, we're going to die. So, yes, I've been there, Lewis, many times.
And that's not sexist. This is the truth, okay? This is a fact. And women will call that sexist. We're going to get shit for talking about this the way we're talking about it. But it's simple mechanics. Give your girlfriend your Xbox controller. Give it to her. See the way her fingers react. See the way her hands react. See what she does with the screen. They have, I don't know what it is. I guarantee they've had to have done studies on this. They're not as good at shit like that. And I compare flying a plane to playing a video game. I put them in almost like the same mechanical sort of category. And I feel like a woman would be less good at flying a plane. Well,
absolutely. You are correct there. I mean, not to mention, well, the thing is, Lewis, flying a plane, there's a lot of mathematics involved. You've got to be good at math. And I think the studies show that women have bigger brains than men, although they just don't know how to use them, I would say. And also regarding the video games thing, you're right. That makes sense. I agree. I see you Googling. That's good. Video. This is amazing. You know, I will say this, though. Once Brian took over, the video stopped. You're talking shit about Shannon. We were video for years when we had Shannon. Anyway,
you weren't in Africa.
With the video, well, with the video games, women don't want to learn how to play them. You know what I mean? So I think there is something to that.
Well, hold on. The truth about gender and math, this is saying that men are better at math than women.
Well, yeah, because think about it. I mean, I can think of tons of famous, like, brainy people. Sir Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein. You know, because I read so many books, I can go on all day. I don't want to bore you with my intellectual prowess.
We know how many. You can name 100 people easily. You don't need to prove it.
Can you name one, like, well-known, famous mathematician female other than Helen Keller?
Betty Crocker.
Who's Betty Crocker? Is something to do with plates? She's a cook.
Aunt Jemima.
Who are these people?
These are Aunt Jemima, the syrup, Betty Crocker, the fucking cake.
Brother, you are showing the cultural divide right now. Because you got to remember, I was raised in England, the United Kingdom. Different things are on TV. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're referring to. You know, I don't think anyone cares. What you should have done is just said, yeah, you're right, Mike. I can't think of a single famous woman. Not throw out these silly names.
Yeah. No. First of all, you fucking know who they are. Just because you're not getting my references right now, that's not my fault. Betty Crocker is the instant, like, cake mix. If you were going to get an instant cake mix in England, what would you do? If the supermarket where you add milk and eggs.
What's cake mix got to do with being a famous mathematician? Other than figuring out that you need 3 parts water, 1 part flour, that's fractions. But it's pretty basic.
Doggy, you're not understanding the joke. That you said name a famous mathematician. I name just fucking women that bake and they're in the kitchen. I'm trashing women. Let me trash women. Just go with it.
Whoa, bro. No trashing women on this show. You know how I feel about sexual equality. Okay? Please. Don't even joke about it. It's
sorry.
Women's MMA is just as good as men's. I tell you what, though. Do you know what? I did see this, and sorry, we didn't mean to talk about this, but I saw, I don't know when it was, maybe a few days ago, and, everybody, I have some friends that are transgender, everyone do you, and that I'm more than happy for that, but a bill passed allowing transgender women, obviously they used to be men or boys, they're now allowed to compete in girls' sports at school and after school in colleges and all that type of stuff, which, I think is a little ridiculous if I'm honest. Imagine if you're a woman that is dedicated or a young girl your entire life to being the best, making sacrifices, training, all the rest of it, and then fucking Jack with a frock on comes in with a bit of lipstick and just smashes you. Because, listen, for all the equality aside, you can't deny that men are bigger and stronger. That's just fact, okay? That's not open for debate. Men have more muscle, we're bigger people, we're stronger. So therefore, our athletic ability is better. And I read that on Twitter. I think it was a story on Twitter, and I was like, wow. Listen, you do you. Whatever makes you happy, God bless you, and all the best. But I mean, look at Fallon Fox, the wrestler competing against girls. It's not right. And I know we didn't mean to talk about this, but we're talking about this shit. But and there we went.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, it begs to, answer the question, how much do you really want it? Does your son, does he really want to be a champion? Because if he did, how far would he go? And then you got to figure there are people that want it that bad.
Hold on. You're saying if my son really wants to be the champion, he's going to become a transgendered woman and compete on the women's wrestling team.
Kathleen Bisping.
Kathleen, that's the name of my mother, incidentally.
Well, there you go. Little Kathleen's going to fucking...
It's written in the stars.
She's gonna
It was meant to be.
Just start dumping these bitches on their head. Do you know what Callum would do to any female in the country?
Do you know what he would do to me? Because he does, as father and son, and you'll do it with James as he gets older and bigger. You start messing around, and he comes up and he squares up to me sometimes, and he's having a laugh. And then we start pissing about in the kitchen, wrestling a little bit. And he'll grab my leg, and I'm not quite as svelte and as bendy and as flexible as I used to be. And we've got wood floors everywhere, and I don't want to hit wood floors. I'm like, okay, stop. Put me down, you fucking prick. We're messing around. You're going to hurt me. I'm getting old. Stop it, you little shit.
Yeah, we do that now, but I just fucking dominate my son. He's gonna be 13 one day, and there's gonna be a day. There's a moment in time where it happens where there's the day before it's Tuesday, and I'm able to just mush his head into the couch, and then Wednesday, something happened. There's a growth spurt, or he gets it, and then all of a sudden he can fucking mount me. We were gonna do this on the last show. My son's in jiu-jitsu now. I put this on my Instagram. I wanted you to. Maybe tell me if I'm being a doting dad. Maybe I'm just being fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's a little bit much. You know what I mean? I know what you're gonna say. You want me to break down your son's jiu-jitsu, and seeing as we've talked about it now, we're gonna do it. But you are, and I kind of want to throw up in my mouth.
He's good.
Everybody listening. Yeah, I'm sure he fucking is. So are lots of people's kids.
He's 6.
My son's a good wrestler. James is learning the very absolute basics in jiu-jitsu, and that's awesome. That's great. And you should be proud, Lewis. But we don't want to see it. I'm sorry.
Well, here's what I want to ask you, because I really do. I want to get your opinion on this. Does he legitimately, I look at it and I'm like, holy shit, he legitimately is getting it. But maybe that's just me wanting him to get it more than he's getting it. But just show the video for a minute.
Okay. All right.
He's on bottom at first.
Thank you. whenever you tell me about life, living the style, it's always like a
Okay. All right. I'm assuming Harrington's doing the camera work.
Tabletop
Now has the
position.
mount.
Position before submission, as he was taught. He gets a little sloppy like his dad here. He gets a little overly rambunctious.
Oh, God. It's that move that fucking Diego showed you to do that I said does not work.
Look, man, he gets his back. And he's going to strangle him. They call time, though.
Yeah, okay. I get it. You know,
Is he not
as
great?
much as... No, but listen, hold on. Yeah, I'll get to it. I apologize to the audio-only listeners. We had to cut that short because screaming of kids in a gymnasium or a dojo, you know, is not world-class podcasting, okay? So, yeah, he's doing well. He's learning. Guess what? If you regularly go to jiu-jitsu class, unless you're a fucking numbskull, you will learn some things. And good for him because... you know, Lucas doesn't go to jiu-jitsu, which really pisses me off. And I do want to hand down the martial arts, but it pisses me off. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, you're right. He is. He's definitely learning some things. I did notice at one point when the other kid was on top of him, he looked at the camera and had like a lost, lonely look of death in his eye. He was scared. He was terrified. And it reminded me of you. I'm like, I've seen that look somewhere else before.
Every episode.
And there he is. You really look like your dad. Even though you're trying to look like Rafael Dos Anjos with your weird mustache these days, I recognize you're facing James. But yeah, no, you're right. Listen, jokes aside, it's coming on nicely there. Albeit he was against another white belt. Probably the kid's first day in there,
No.
I'm assuming. That
kid was way more experienced. Kid was smaller, but he was way more experienced. And James got his first actual submission. This other kid it was his second. This kid had no idea what he was doing. This kid was fucking lost. James got on top of him, and he's on his back, and he goes to do the rear naked choke, and he's not doing it, and he looks over at me because he always looks at me, and I did that move to him, and he went whoosh, sucked it in. This kid, he didn't even know to tap. Kid just started choking.
Yeah.
It was great.
No. First of all, he's doing great on busting balls, as you know, and that's beautiful. It's great to see your kids making progress in anything like that. And it's funny when you say James looked at you. Like even now, like if I go pick Callum up from wrestling, and he's 18. When I go pick him up, sometimes most of the time it's his mom because I'm away traveling a lot and whatnot. But when I do go, he always stops and looks round to see me and he's like, oh, and then he picks up the intensity a little notch. And I remember doing that with my dad, you know, and you do, if you know a parent's in the room or someone close to you, you know, you want to, you know, you want to try your best and look like you're making leaps and bounds. So that's really, really nice, Lewis.
It's literally what I never had that experience in life. As you know, we've talked about plenty of times. My father was murdered.
I know. And that's why I backtracked halfway through it. I swear to God. I'm like, yeah, I remember with my dad, I was like, oh, fuck, shit. Mister, put your foot in it, why don't you? I'm like, okay, yeah, so that's beautiful. So what's on the show today? I swear to God, that was where my mind was at. I'm like, Lucas's dad died and was murdered brutally. Okay, stop with the dad stories. Fuck me and my mouth.
Shit. But it really is. I don't have that perspective. I never did any sports at all as a kid because there was no fucking dad sitting there on the sidelines with a look in his eyes like, get the fuck up. Which is like, it's very funny. Like I never knew that type. You've been a dad for a lot longer than me, but I've never had this experience before where you're like rooting for your kid to win the race, or like, it's a very cool, really rewarding thing. Actually much more rewarding than doing things yourself and accomplishing things yourself. Like I never had that drive to really excel in sports. You did, but the level of, you know, just how proud you feel. It's like, holy shit, you know, you want your kid to have everything that you didn't have, and it's really cool, and it's very unique now because it's just unfolding now before my very eyes. I've never really experienced this.
Yeah, no, it is very cool. You know, my dad, he would drive me everywhere. I know he listens to the show as well, so what's up, Dad? Hope you're well. Yeah, shout out Jan Bisping. We're going to get him back on the show soon. He drives us all over the place. I mean, it's no secret that, him and my mother and father's marriage wasn't exactly the best one. Let's put it like that. So I'm not saying this is why he did it, but he drove us everywhere. But
He just wanted
probably
to get out of the house.
To get out of the fucking house. Yeah, I'm telling you. Anybody wanted to go anywhere, martial arts, you want me to drive you to the ends of the earth, I'm fucking in. As long as I don't have to be in at home with that crazy bitch. Okay? Money was tight when we were kids, but we never really went without anything. We went on vacations, holidays. We went on holidays. We always had good Christmases. We never went hungry. We weren't rich, far from it, and money was tight. But he always drove us around, took us to martial arts tournaments. We had the equipment, all that type of stuff. Oh, but fuck me. If we didn't win, Lewis, if me and Conrad or whoever didn't win, because, we won most of the time. And the ones we didn't win, then Jesus Christ, we were in for it on the way home, driving up the motorway. There would be a serious shouting match. And even as he's driving, looking over his shoulder, swinging us and hitting us. Well, you could do that in the 80s. It wasn't frowned upon.
Well, I mean, because I always have that weird thing because, now he's at the end of every jiu-jitsu class, it's a little competition because they were actually roll, right? And he's starting to want to win now a little bit, but I don't want to put the pressure on him where he feels bad if he doesn't win, because you got to lose in order to learn how to win. That's the reality. But did you set that standard on Callum? Because Callum has excelled at a very high level at wrestling, right? Did you put that sort of standard, or because it doesn't seem like you were that harsh? It doesn't seem like if Callum lost something that you would even express any sort of disappointment in him not winning. You're so warm with your kids. I wonder how you handled that.
Well, thank you very much. No, I didn't. I never instilled that in him. That was just within him. In fact, I remember when we lived back in England, we went for a run down Dinkley, this river near where we lived, down Dinkley, and we took the dogs for a walk. It was winter, and I used to do my running down there, but me, Rebecca, Callum, Melanie, and Lucas, we'd all gone for a walk. And I was down there. I said, I'm just going to run along to the steps at the end, about 1.5 miles away. Then I'll run back to you. Then I'll run back again, as we're all having a leisurely walk. I think I had a fight coming up or something. And Callum must have been 7, something like that. And he's like, can I do it with you, Dad? I'm like, yeah, sure. Fuck's sake. Now he's slowing down my run. Okay, I'm running for training for a fight, but my son wants to run it with me. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Now we're going to go at snail's pace. I'm joking, but so we slowed down. But at the end, as I say, there's some really, really high steps, steep steps that go on for a while. And I'm running up the steps, and he's running up them with me. And he's like, And I'm like, son, you can stop at any time. You can stop at any time. Don't worry about it. But I got to keep going. He's like, no. And I saw something in him then. That was the first time I ever saw it, the will and the desire and the hunger, and the mental toughness, because you can't stop at any time. In fact, the exact opposite of that story, that little run I do by my house, you've done it a couple of times. It was the slowest speed I ever did it in when I did it with you. In fact, it was like running with Callum when he was 5, that run. Well, I did that with Callum recently, and we were running, and he was falling behind a lot. Bearing in mind, he was probably just wasn't trying, or he was tired, he was out of shape, whatever it was. And I'm like, son, come on, you got to catch me. And he was getting pissed off because I don't shout at him, but I'm like, son, catch me up. I'm slowing down. You've got to catch me. And he's like, shut up. I'm like, catch me up. And he won't catch me up. So then at the end, I'm like, what the hell, son? He's like, Dad, I couldn't catch you up. I'm like, yes, you could. Everybody can, but it was that mental switch. You weren't prepared to go to that next level. And I gave him a lecture. I didn't tell him off. I didn't shout at him. I said, I slowed down, son. I know that you could have caught me up if you wanted to. If you chose to dig deep and go to that next level, but you didn't. You didn't choose that, I said, but sometimes you got to fight through the pain barrier. Yeah. Does that make me a bad dad or?
No, I think it makes you a good dad. It's a lesson to be learned. And to be honest with you, look, you got one knee, you got one eye. Bisping most of the time just runs in a circle like a dog trying to chase his tail. It's not that hard to catch him.
Like, I've been running for a while and I'm going nowhere. What is going on? But,
just keep on running left.
But yeah, no. Do you know the only time I was a little disappointed, and I'm sorry, Callum, if you're listening to this, the only time I was a little disappointed, last year, he had an amazing wrestling season. He got all the way to the state finals. He qualified. He placed. Out of 50,000 wrestlers in California, he finished 8th, which is incredible. And he only started wrestling as a freshman. Anyway, then it's his senior year, his last time. and he hadn't qualified yet for state. But I said to my dad, I said, Dad, fly over. I'll get you, I'll pay for your ticket and I want you to come and support Callum. And Callum's like, shit, I haven't even qualified. I said, yeah, you'll do it. Anyway, we get there and he didn't do too well. I'm like, son, we've come all this fucking way.
We paid for your grandfather.
All this way. The least you can do is win the fucking matches. Jesus Christ.
He just had his fucking elbow reconstructed.
Well, that's exactly what it was. He was out for like 4 months with the surgery and still made it to the state final. So he did great. He did great. Anyway, what else is going on in the world? People don't want to hear about my kids and fatherhood from me.
They know they do. I think that's one of the best things about this podcast, in my opinion, is two dads shooting the shit, trying to figure it out. We're not perfect. It's a good. I think it's good. I think we inspire people sometimes. All right, Mike, real quick, we should talk about Blue Chew, which is such an amazing sponsor of this show. If you like sex, you're going to love Blue Chew. It is a performance enhancement drug for the bedroom. It's basically a chewable version of either Viagra or Cialis. It's the same active ingredients as those drugs, so you know it works, and it's faster. It gets into your bloodstream faster. You could have it on a full stomach as well. You don't have to have an empty stomach. Take a chick out to dinner. Then you're like, well, I got to wait 4 hours before I can take a pill to have good sex. Not no more, baby boy. And the best part of all of this, Blue Chew, it's all done online. You don't have to go see a doctor. You don't have to have a weird conversation. Fill out a questionnaire online. They give you a prescription right there, and then everything comes right to your door in discreet packaging. Yeah, that's absolutely right. And as you say, let's just stress it one more time. This isn't for erectile dysfunction. This is an enhancement, and listen, as grown men and women, we like to have a good time in the bedroom. So enhance your performance. Do your husband or wife or your significant other a favor and enhance it by going to Blue Chew. As Lewis said, same ingredients, Viagra and Cialis. They'll deliver it right to your door. No embarrassment. Very, very discreet. How do they get involved in this, Lewis? Well, they can try it for free, absolutely free. Just go to bluechew.com and use the promo code BELIEVE. You pay $5 shipping. Your first order's free. Try it out. It's going to change the way that you look at sex. You've not had sex this good ever in your entire life. I promise you that. Once again, it's bluechew.com, BLUECHEW.com, and use that promo code BELIEVE for a free trial. Just pay that $5 shipping. All right, where were we? All right, real quick, we got to talk about, before we get into MMA, this is such a funny story to me. Moby, the singer Moby, and I know you probably love Moby. You're probably spinning his shit like crazy back in the DJ Mikey B days.
Listen, Moby's done some good music. He did some good dance music. He did some terrible dance music as well, a couple of cheesy ones. But also some of the stuff that he did that wasn't the dance music stuff. But Moby's done some fantastic music. Fantastic music, and I'm a massive, massive fan. And I do follow him on Instagram. Do you follow him on Instagram?
I don't follow him on Instagram. I did see his latest post regarding this controversy.
Oh, the controversy. Harrington. Yeah. No, he's a hard vegan, man. He's very, very big on the veganism, just like all vegans are.
That's why he looks like that.
They don't stop talking about it.
He's all fucking transparent and Gumby-like.
You mean like an AIDS victim?
Like an AIDS victim. What are they calling a victim?
Sorry.
You're not a victim of AIDS. AIDS didn't fucking rob you. You fucking, No,
but you are suffering from anti-immune deficiency syndrome.
Okay, fucking.
I'm not being funny. If I had AIDS, I'd feel like a victim.
I used to think I had AIDS. Dude, when I first started having sex, I would convince myself I had AIDS for everything. Before I figured out like the way life really worked, I remember just hyperventilating in doctor's offices. Oh yeah, this is his picture with him and Natalie Portman.
Well, hold on. Before we get into that, real quick, now I think they've cured AIDS, or they've developed some treatment now where you have to take the treatment, but you won't die and you won't have any ill effects. And I also saw on the news the other day that they're real close to a cure for cancer, which is, it's similar to the AIDS thing. They treat it in a way where you won't die. It won't affect your quality of life. It's still going to be within your body. Within 2-3 years, people dying of cancer, hopefully, could be a thing of the past.
Oh, my God.
Which is great.
That'd be so awesome.
Whoa. You're saying it won't be awesome?
No, it'll be great.
Cancer, which kills so many people. AIDS, which is a deadly disease, is responsible for so many deaths. You're not elated. You don't think this is huge news. You don't think this is worthy of something to talk about on our little rinky-dink podcast?
I'm elated about it. I love it. My mom died of cancer, sort of. Let's keep it nice.
All right.
Let's keep it nice and, keep the show nice and happy. It wasn't really cancer, though. It really
exactly,
wasn't
exactly.
cancer.
All right.
She
Listen,
had cancer, and then
you want to talk about Moby and Natalie Portman. The floor is yours, Lewis. Take it away.
Do you know what happened? Did you read the story? It's really funny.
I did actually, because as I said, I follow Moby on Instagram, so I saw it organically. I wasn't scouring for stories to talk about. I saw it a few days ago, looked at it, read the story. Apparently, Natalie Portman denied she ever dated Moby.
Well, in his book, he said that they dated, and I guess her response to it, she did an interview. Let's see. Okay, so this is from the book, actually. I was a bald binge drinker who lived in an apartment that smelled like mildew and old bricks, and Natalie Portman was a beautiful movie star, he wrote in an excerpt posted by Entertainment Weekly. But here she is in my dressing room flirting with me. He continued that he tried to be her boyfriend, but she ended their relationship when she met someone else. Portman, now 37, told an outlet, I was surprised to hear that he characterized the very short time that I knew him as dating, because my recollection is him as a much older man being creepy with me when I just graduated high school. She was 18 years old.
I didn't know any of this.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
She denied. And then he went on his Instagram, and this is what you pull up the Instagram for a second so people could see it. And he posted this picture, which is sort of fucking creepy if you show the actual picture.
That is not a picture of them.
Yeah, I don't know what you're showing. Oh, these are multiple pictures. Oh,
yeah. Go back to the other one though, because before it's a little off topic. Go to the first picture. That one there. I don't know if you know what Tyson Fury looks like, the boxer, but he looks like, well, seeing as we've mentioned it, Tyson Fury with AIDS. He does. Do you not think?
Yeah, a little bit.
Bring up a picture of Tyson Fury doing a big stupid grin. I swear to God, it's that guy.
I like it. I'm looking at it right now on my computer.
Anyway, carry on.
Well, so look, we got to pick a side here, obviously, okay? And I don't just automatically side with dudes, as a lot of people would think. Here's what I think happened. Because he went on to Instagram to say that, I don't know why she would deny it, blah, blah, blah. He fucked her when she was like... He fucked her. That's what happened. They fucked once. He probably
that's it.
Brought her to a couple dinners.
He hooked about. He used his movie star bullshit. Sorry, his music prowess. I'm a DJ. I'm a producer. I'm all this shit. Snagged her into bed. Seduced her one night. Banged her brains out. Had a great time. She woke up the next day and thought, shit, I was a bit tipsy last night.
Like, did I just catch AIDS?
I think I might have got jumped to 25 Africans. Deny.
Dude, so they probably went to dinner or lunch a couple times. They were probably friendly with each other. They hooked up once. And in his mind, he was like, oh, I dated this chick. In her mind, she's like, oh, my God, I was just a co-star of Thor with the hottest man on earth. I'm now considered one of the most beautiful women in the world. I'm not letting that be known. And to be honest with you, here, Moby should shut the fuck up about it. Dude, just have the memory. You got to fuck Natalie Portman.
He should shut the hell up about it. You're right. He really should. Listen, I don't know what Moby's deal is. Maybe he's single. I don't know. Maybe he can't pull a chick. I wouldn't imagine that's the case. There's a lot of people that respect and like vegans, and I do respect vegans. I would like to be a vegan. I would like to be a vegan, but I'd like to think if I was a vegan, I wouldn't bang on about it constantly. Okay, but I'd like to be vegan. I like animals. Listen, the restaurant I'm in downstairs I saw them at the next person's table. Some amazing looking lamb chops. And I'll tell you, lamb tastes good. But after saving those lamb in England recently that you diminished, I don't eat lamb anymore. Okay? But he should shut the fuck up about banging Natalie Portman. And she has a right to say, listen, we didn't date. Okay, basically what she's saying there is, can you stop going on about it in the media, please? If you keep talking about it, I'm just going to deny it and make you look stupid.
Well, that's what she did as well. It was a good move on her part, because she was like, oh, because I just remember being a girl who had just graduated high school and you being kind of creepy. So she threw the word creepy in there. So she was just like, oh, just so you know, here's a jab. Boom, shut the fuck up. I'm going to throw that creepy word has such connotations there where she's like, oh, yeah, well, how about this? Creep. I was 18, you fucking creep. And now he's doubling down like an idiot and going on his Instagram being like, no, look, we really dated. Look at all these pictures.
Harrington, just while we talk, look up how old is Moby and how old is Natalie Portman? What was the age difference? So when she was 18,
33.
how old was he?
33. I already know the answer.
He was 33.
And God bless him. I'm not even going to hate on him. 18-year-old Natalie Portman, he has that story. Good for him. Maybe say you're creepy all you want. She's fucking gorgeous. She's an angel on earth. She's one of the most beautiful women in the world, okay?
I'll be honest, I can't even picture it in my mind right now. If you paid me $1 million to pick her out of a lineup, if she came up and slapped me in my face, I wouldn't be able to do it.
I mean, she's fucking... Pull her up. She's gorgeous. 18-year-old. This is 18-year-old Natalie Portman. Shut up. Shut
she's
up.
good looking.
She's gorgeous.
She's a good looking girl.
She's good.
But 33 going
creepy.
after an 18-year-old in this age of Me Too and Time's Up.
20 years ago. 20 years ago.
Harvey Weinstein. No, I know. But still, these people have no problem bringing back a flirtatious encounter from 30 years ago when you get sent to prison. So be careful, baby boy.
Yeah, I would just shut up, dude. You won. You get that. You get to walk off into the distance and just win. He's insecure, so he had to let everyone know, hey, just so you know, I got some hot puss in my day.
Yeah. He's saying, hey, listen, she might have been 18. Okay, borderline illegal, and I was a grown man.
It's a great website.
I had 3 kids by the time I was 33, okay? But this guy's chasing after 18-year-old children and bragging about it online on his bloody blog or whatever it does. Vegan News Weekly. He's bragging about it.
Vegan News Weekly. So just so you know,
that's a real thing.
Do not eat animal products of any kinds, but you should also know that I banged 18-year-old Natalie Portman.
Yeah, he didn't mind taking that meat, did he?
Oh, shit.
Oh,
like
all right. But yeah, okay. Well, listen, good for him.
Do you judge a 33-year-old man today? Be honest, because you have a 16 or 17-year-old daughter.
She's 16 and a half-ish. And if a 33-year-old man...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right.
Not your daughter.
So,
forget your daughter. Just an 18-year-old girl in general. If a 33-year-old man dates an 18-year-old girl, do you judge him as being a creepy man?
I'll tell you this right now. In 18 months' time, right, Roger, a CEO of an international company, a DJ... a producer, a director, a highfalutin director of the next Jurassic Park movie that is saying that he's going to put me in the movie as the lead. Okay? Fuck Chris Pratt. It's you, baby boy. Mikey B, Mike the Count, Michael Bisping. We want you for the lead. And he's turning up at my door to take Ellie out. You better call those cops right now. Call those cops.
Because they're going to get free tickets to the brand new Marvel movie starring Michael Bisping.
Oh, you got me there. I'm like, oh, okay, listen.
Marvel? A Marvel movie?
I'm like, oh, God. What else you got? Make the deal sweeter.
A three-picture deal. 3-picture deal. You're the new fucking Superman. That's it.
Just don't tell her mom, okay? Take her out, have her back by midnight, and for crying out loud, use protection.
You got to throw her mom in. Rebecca's part of the deal.
Good luck with that one.
Oh, shit, dude. We're the worst.
So that's it. I've been disowned by my mother. My daughter. My wife's going to leave me. And Moby fucking hates me. Jesus Christ. I'm going to stop doing this podcast because we offend far too many people. We're talking about transgendered before. A very good friend of mine, MJ Bassett, fantastic friend, good director. He listens to the show. We probably offended her. Sorry, pardon me. She listens to the show. So definitely offended her now. We got to stop doing this. So we're just going to stick to MMA. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think that's that's really the difference between us and everybody else. No other MMA podcasts are really breaking down Moby's pedophilia. Nobody's really trying to negotiate their family members for movie parts via podcast. That's not happening.
Hey, I'll do it.
I know you would.
Listen,
you think he's kidding.
I'll take what I can get in this world, baby boy.
Like fucking Superman? Shit. That's a great Joe Rogan bit on his Netflix special. He just talks about, he's like, if my son, he was like, my daughter, he was like, that's fucking crazy. But if my son came to me and he was like, Dad, I had to suck this director's dick, but I'm in the new Batman. He was
No. He had to let a female director suck his dick.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, that's it.
Well, Or you're saying if he sucked some gay dick?
I don't remember exactly the way the joke went, but it was fucking great.
Well, I don't.
Because Rogan's perspective was like, he was like, well, you're Batman, baby. It was fucking great. It's just like your son.
No,
you're
for
like,
sure. Absolutely. If my 18-year-old's trying to break into Hollywood and like some guy's trying to get his wiener sucked in exchange for a role, I'm gonna scream blue murder and call the authorities and lawsuits and all the rest of it. But if some if Angelina Jolie is directing the next movie and Callum says, she said I can have the part if she can suck my dick, I'd be like, dude, what are you waiting for?
Yeah. Just forget the part.
And it is a difference. It is a weird inequality.
Of course it is. And hey, look, it's not. It's just we're always constantly hunting for sex since we're young boys. Since we can remember, since we were like in 5th, 6th grade, we're just constantly hunting for whatever it is. We're thinking about it. We're always on our mind, and women have been fighting it off the whole time. So I think when
the poor things,
they really are. They're fucking like they're just fighting. Since they grow boobs, just creepy men are just coming onto them regularly. It's fucked up, and I think there's something about that. It's like it is when the predators are. It's almost like when you see a fucking lion that's fucking killed on one of those nature shows. You're like, it's a predator. You don't feel that bad because the predator kind of got a taste of its own medicine.
No, it's like if you're the lion and everywhere you walk and you've just eaten a zebra, so you're full, but all the other animals are running away terrified because they think you're going to eat them. On the flip side, a really good-looking woman, every time she's around a guy, she's these men just want to screw me. That's all it is. And to a certain degree, I guess that is true, and it must grow very, very tiresome. It's like, listen, Jesus Christ, can we just have a platonic, business-like friendship or whatever it is?
Not.
Can we work together? That. Can you stop trying to bang me, please? I don't want to go for a drink after work, okay? Yeah.
I don't believe that men can turn it off. So anytime that, if you're a female and you have a male friend, he doesn't really have the ability to turn off that instinct of wanting to have sex with you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that they will. It's not like you can be at work. Like I have females that I work with that.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that. You can't say that for every man. Yeah, you're right. Some men, and some women, maybe, but you can't put a blanket statement out like that about every single man. You know what I'm saying?
With the exception of men that have something.
I'm a very, very happily married man. I'm not stalking women everywhere I go.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if there's an attractive woman in the room, okay, this is the reality. You cannot change the instinct of yours to want.
I'd rather talk to a really attractive woman than a really smelly, ugly woman.
Why? Deep down, why though?
It's true.
Why? Break it down. Now forget it. Just look at the why. Because you would rather fuck her.
It's not that you would. Pleasant experience.
It's not that you would fuck her. It's that you would rather fuck her. I wouldn't have sex with any of my female employees, but if I have a female employee that is attractive, you gave me a lie detector test, if I would have sex with her under the circumstances, you couldn't deny that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a very natural thing, but we're human beings. We're civilized. It's also natural to want to just fucking, if you see fucking, I'm trying to think of something that's very natural. If you see a fucking sandwich and you're hungry lying on a fucking shelf, it's natural to want to pick it up and take a bite of it, but you have to go buy it because there's rules in life and there's rules in the world. So that's what I'm saying. And that's every man.
If you're hungry, you are going to pick that up. You know what I mean? But what if you have an abundance of the finest filet mignon sandwiches, just like click a finger, not click a finger, that sounds disrespectful, but available to you 24/7 either. In fact, maybe once a week, possibly. All right, let's say you can get that filet mignon sandwich twice a month if you're lucky. Okay, if you play your cards right and you buy the flowers and you do as you're fucking told, and Jesus Christ, you get a little bit of booze in her, maybe a couple of times a year, then you're not gonna act like that.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's not filet mignons. Mine's more like beer battered shrimp, but it's fine. Yes, I understand what you're saying. The analogy is there. You understand what I'm saying too. I think it's a very natural thing.
I do.
We do things for, to get laid and to fucking feel like we're the shit. That's it. We want to feel like we're important. We want to feel like we're awesome, and we do it to get laid. and everything sort of circulates around that. And that's a natural thing. You can use that to advantage. If you sort of understand the way people act and the reason people do things, you can use that to your advantage. Women can be very, very successful in life based off of the fact that there are men that are fucking creeps. You can use that to fucking zip right past them because guys are fucking morons.
Oh, yeah.
Guys think with their dicks. And and if you understand it and you understand how to play that variable in your favor, you can go very far.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And this is a thing that my wife says. So this isn't coming from me. Okay? But she's like, she does get a little frustrated at all these, these stories about Time's Up and Me Too, where women are coming out of the woodwork. And I think Angelina Jolie and the Harvey Weinstein thing was one of the cases she was talking about. Or I'm not sure which one it was. Maybe I'm wrong with that. But, however long ago it was, and by the way, we're not defending Harvey Weinstein here. By all accounts, the guy's an absolute disgusting scumbag, sleazebag, creep. Simple as that. Lock him up, throw away the key. But those women at that time, and I don't know the situation, but this is my wife's perspective. It's like, well, They were willing to do it at the time because they were getting something in return. So they made a deal, but then 30 years later, they come out the woodwork and say that they were taken advantage of. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's what my wife said, and I do kind of see a point a little bit, I'm not trying to undermine or diminish any suffering that any women have been through. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying what my wife said. And it was an interesting take. My wife comes out with some interesting points.
For this reason, and I know people that have been real victims, like legitimate victims of sexual assault and rape. And I think for an actress to, for her to hook up with a director, a man of power, whatever it is, for better or worse, and then regret it after the fact and to try to put it in the same category as being a real victim, I think it's a little bit, there needs to be levels to things. And I feel like that is the big story where if you go into I live in Harlem, you go into the hood, there are fucking young girls that are being abused daily, okay? And that's not a story that people are really talking about. It's not a big sexy story, but an actress, she's taken advantage of, a director shows his dick, she goes to his hotel room. Yeah, it sucks. But doggy, I've had real problems in life. I've had some shit. You too, dude. You have family members that have been brutally assaulted. Your brother, lives with a fucking brain injury to this day. It's a real problem. And to try to, it's just not that's just not in my list of priorities in life. That never really falls into the top, 20 even.
No, for sure. And I do want to reiterate once again that we're not trying to undermine anybody's true suffering or even being made to feel uncomfortable, which is a very, very weird thing, for a woman, a man that's say they're alone in the room, for a man to be abusing that power and making somebody feel uncomfortable is a disgusting thing. It happened to me yesterday. I had it happen to me yesterday. I swear to God. Right? I tell you.
This African guy, he's like, Mr. Bisping, would you like something to drink? And I'm like, I don't want to touch your dick, sir.
Listen. So I'm telling you, Cape Town's a fucking dangerous place, bro. Right? This is like a mini apartment. So I've got a washing machine and a dryer, but I got no, pods to put in and wash it. But if you go downstairs, you say, excuse me, have you got some pods for the washing machine? They'll bring some up. So I called down. I said, have you got some? He said, yeah, 1 second, we'll bring them up. And this guy comes up, obviously a local, and he comes in, and I open the door and I put my hand out, and he kind of just walks in. And he walks in, I've got his hands a few, and I realized this after the fact. My wallet was out on the side, and I'd just been given my per diem from production for the week, for my money for the week, and it was in small bills. So in my wallet, it looked like a big fat wedge. It looked like I was fucking loaded. These notes aren't worth very much, but it looked like I was rolling deep. You know what I'm saying? And he must have spotted it, and he comes in the room, but I didn't know he'd spotted this at this time, and he shuts the door behind him, and now I'm starting to feel. I'm like, what is this guy doing? And he goes, okay. And I take the things, and he's like, okay, thank you. And then he stands there. I'm like, okay, thanks. He goes, maybe you can help me. I'm like, oh my God, what's he going to say? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, maybe you can help me. I'm like, help you with what? He goes, oh, I just need some help. I'm like, what do you need? I'm like, please do not unzip your trousers here. But no, he says, with transport, you could give me some money. I'm like, get the fuck out. I'm not having that. I'm a very giving guy, but I'm not having a hotel staff member close the door behind me and beg for money in my hotel room. You know what I'm saying? I'm not having that. If someone's in need on the street, I'll look after you. Unless there's 15 of you and you got knives and guns, I don't help you then. But if someone genuinely needs help, I'm a very, very giving person. But don't come into my hotel room, close the door, and try and take advantage of my nice nature.
I mean, he was just asking for a tip.
No, just a tip.
He was just asking for just a tip. That's what they do. They wait. They sort of go like, That's what he wanted.
That's all it was. The tip. Oh, he wanted a tip. Oh, well, I tip everybody, but don't. All right. Well, when I see him, I'll slip him a 20.
I think
there you go.
A little bit of cultural.
That's dollars. That's dollars. Not. I see what I mean. It's all perception is reality. Yeah. I thought I was Me Too'd. I thought this guy. I was one of these women. They're getting sexually abused and harassed. He was in my hotel room. He made me feel very, very uncomfortable. I didn't know what he was going to do. He asked for help, and then he left with a weird glint in his eye.
So now we're saying, ultimately on this show, the conclusion that we've come up with is that Harvey Weinstein is probably innocent. Thank you for proving that, Michael, with your story. That's pretty cool.
I'll say it again. Listen, the jury is out. Simple as that. This guy's an absolute scumbag, fat piece of shit. Unless he wants to make me the next Superman, then,
We'll see what happens.
Maybe it was all a big misunderstanding.
All right. Do we want to talk about MMA? There's some things that have happened. Not crazy stories. What happened with UFC Minneapolis, Harrington?
Well, it was supposed to be Robbie Lawler versus Tyron Woodley.
Oh, Tyron had to pull out. That's right. Hand injury or something?
Yes, sir. He said it was the same hand injury that he caught while he was in the Darren Till fight. Something wrong with a tendon in his hand. It's what he had surgery for that kept him out of the Colby fight in November. And eventually, so it just flared up again in training.
All right, we got it. All right. It's a lot.
Jesus, Harrison, give us your life story. Why don't you? Jesus.
Just the facts, guys.
Yeah.
It was a cold winter morning, 2016. Tyron Woodley had been training too hard.
Just want to paint a picture.
It was a cold day. No. This hand problem has been bothering Tyron for a while. I remember, I think it was International Fight Week. I think it was when DC fought Stipe Miocic, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he'd beaten Darren Till, and the UFC wanted him to fight Colby Covington, and his hand was giving him problems. And the UFC, and I won't say the amount of money because it's not my business, it's not my place to, but the UFC offered him a very, very handsome purse. It was a lot of money. And my advice was to actually take the fight. I said, Tyron, it doesn't last forever. That's a lot of money. And I reckon you can still win the fight anyway. He said, no, I can't use my hand properly. And I respect that. He wanted to hang on to his belt, and he didn't want to go in as a lesser version of himself. And he turned down a very, very generous offer from the UFC because his hand wasn't correct. And he had the surgery, as we know. He fought Usman. Lost the fight, unfortunately. Usman's now the champ. Congrats. And now he's supposed to fight Robbie Lawler. And then here we are again. So it's a shame for Tyron because obviously having your hands in good working order is essential as a mixed martial artist. And this seems to be a recurring problem. So that's a shame. One thing I did find kind of interesting, though, is that a lot of people came out the woodwork to offer to replace Tyron. Darren Till offered, Leon Edwards offered. I think there was a couple of others. And Robbie Lawler has turned them all down. And the entire fight now has been withdrawn from the card, which is interesting because obviously, remember what Woodley did to Robbie Lawler in the first fight. You
want that fight. It's Robbie Lawler. You want the last champion. You beat Woodley. You get to get the revenge because you have that loss in your record now, right? And then you beat Tyron Woodley, you're right there for a title shot. Simple as that, dude. Doesn't matter. You beat Tyron Woodley, you're right in talks. Somebody gets injured, you're the fucking dude. So I understand why Robbie Lawler doesn't want to fight Mike Perry or fucking whoever else, jumped up and offered the fight. I mean, look, I think there was a couple big fights there and the potential for some big fights, but Yeah, dude, short notice fight. Why not just put it off? You can, if you're Robbie Lawler, you're doing more than fine. You could put it off and make that fight happen at a later date, and I'm assuming that's what he wants to happen.
Or, flip side, he dodged a bullet. He didn't have to take out the number one contender or the guy to have the championship belt for a long, long time. The guy that knocked him out in one punch early in the first round, and he gets to fight someone else like a Darren Till or Leon Edwards. And who knows, maybe he wins that fight. And lo and behold, he's fighting for the belt again. That's the way it is in the UFC. You can't sit around and wait for things. I mean, Dana White says it all the time. The show moves on. The ball keeps rolling. The show must progress. They keep putting on fights. Champions need challenges. And if you're in the right time, at the right place, at the right moment, you get your shot. Now who knows? Maybe that is the right plan. Maybe it isn't. I guess I was always of the mindset, well, fuck it, I'll fight someone else then. But, maybe you're right. Maybe it's a personal thing and he wants to fight Tyron Woodley because he wants to redeem that loss and give a better account of himself. And I get that. I understand that. And I respect that. But I kind of wanted him to see... I wanted to see Robbie Lawler fight someone else, Yeah. So I was a little disappointed. Not in him, just as a fan.
Yeah, he would have also been interested in the Ben Askren rematch as well, which, you get a couple losses. You want to get those wins back. How important is that as a fighter? I mean, you got to get the revenge loss with Dan Henderson, but that was very specifically a personal loss. It was the worst loss of your career. It was something that, it happened to come to fruition. Any of those other losses that you've had in your career, was that it didn't seem for and you can answer this better than I can answer for you, but it didn't seem like you were super motivated to go back and redo those fights, even if you had lost close fights.
No, as a fighter, you always want the opportunity to go back and redo the ones that you lost. Definitely. And I will take this opportunity because it's a good segue or a good moment for me to break some news. I've been working on my own book for a long, long time now. Quitters Never Win. Michael Bisping, Quitters Never Win. And it gets published in August. It's coming out real soon. Wow. And my deepest, darkest. It's not one of those books where, everyone goes out and you think I was never in a hard fight in my life. I actually get very, very personal. I talk about my innermost feelings, my highs and my lows, my lowest of lows and my highest of highs. And I talk about all that stuff in there. So,
your highest of
you
highs?
want to know that stuff.
The
highest highs, bro.
Wait a minute. You talk about the day we met in your book? Shut up. No, you don't. Impossible. I don't believe it. I'm going to have to read this. I can't wait till this comes out.
I will say this, Lewis. You do get a mention. Just much like the UFC broadcasting now are talking about, Believe You Me podcast using us to promote their shows because, we are stellar. You get a mention, Lewis. You really do.
Well, thank you
It's
very
a big
much.
moment for you. I'm proud of you.
If I write a book, Mr. Bisping, it's just going to be about your accomplishments. That's how good you are. I'm going to personally write my own book about Michael Bisping's accomplishments. Through the eyes of a rattlesnake.
I've already done it.
Champion, watching a champion grow by the Puerto Rican rattlesnake. It's touching. I love it.
So you could write a biography, not an autobiography. Yeah. Mine is an autobiography. You would write a biography about me. But, I don't know how much you'd sell. I don't know what your writing skills are like, but based on the mustache, I'm going to say not very good.
Shut up. You have a ghostwriter. I want to meet this guy, this fucking guy.
Whoa. Number one. Okay, there is a ghostwriter. But I will say this, though. It's been a lot of work. He was the actual guy typing the words into the keyboard, okay, into the typewriter. We did it very old-fashioned. Yeah. But I was very, very instrumental. We were on the phone. We were WhatsApping. We were recording conversations every fucking night for the last 6 months. I swear to God, it's been a lot of work. It's been very, very difficult. But yeah, we're almost there. And that comes out soon, so I'm excited about that. But we mentioned rematches, and I had the Rockhold rematch. I had 3 rematches in my life. Once against Mark Epstein in Cage Rage. I won the belt, and then I rematched him. I beat him again. Then Rockhold and Dan Henderson. But yeah, the Dan Henderson one I had to do again. I wanted the Rockhold one as well, but who else did I lose to? Vanderlei Silva. I wasn't too arsed about that one. I thought that was a robbery anyway. Chael. That was a robbery. I thought I won that fight.
Rashad,
even Chael thought so.
You were going to do that.
Rashad Evans. Well. That was close, and that was a close one. If they're close like that, and the judges give it a different way, you're not too bothered. But if you get finished, then you're like, shit. I really think I can do better. And it does kind of eat away at you as a fighter. What else is going on in the world of MMA? So I know there was a big fight change recently. Junior Dos Santos taking on Francis Ngannou. That has been moved from a pay-per-view, I think. Is that correct? Oh, no, it's replaced the fight between Woodley and Robbie Lawler. Is that right?
So now it's now a 5-round fight, which is super exciting. Probably favors Dos Santos, adding the extra rounds to that. So, yeah, that's going to happen, which is always great. A nice heavyweight fight, 2 top contenders. Can't hate on that. What do you think?
Oh, no, 100%. I mean, other than that, well, I was going to say that one disappointing fight with Stipe Miocic. And it wasn't disappointing, but he kind of gassed. He ran out of steam. And Miocic kind of burst the bubble on Francis Ngannou. Because remember, prior to that fight, he was the destroyer. He was the man. And the UFC were pushing him big time. But then he lost to Miocic, and he lost in a way that wasn't overly appealing to fans. And then he followed that up with that really non-fight against Derek Lewis, where both guys were very, very hesitant to pull the trigger. Since then, though, he's rebounded massively. He's had 2 fights. I know he just destroyed Cain Velasquez.
Curtis Blades,
Curtis Blades in Shanghai, and he beat Cain Velasquez. My God, he just tapped Cain Velasquez, and Cain went down. So, I think Ngannou's stock is as high as it's ever been. Dos Santos, former champion, been around forever. Great fighter, one of my personal favorites. Just a good dude as well. He's a really, really nice guy, Junior Dos Santos. As is, my personal experiences with Francis Ngannou have been very, very positive as well. So I'm not saying just Dos Santos. I would say in a 5-round fight, you got to lean towards Dos Santos, but Jesus, man, we've seen it time and time again. Ngannou can take somebody out just by blinking at them. So, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait for that.
A little bit of a career resurgence right now. He's on a 3-fight win streak. And then you look at his losses: Stipe, Alistair. Alistair's been sort of like, you flip a fucking coin, and Alistair Overeem can beat almost anybody in the heavyweight division. He's just that guy, and and just in the heavyweight division in general, it's built that way. These guys can knock each other out. It's as simple as that. And so there's really nothing wrong with losing to Alistair Overeem. And then he's got the loss to Cain back in 2013. That's so long ago. I mean, beyond that, it's all green. Dos Santos might be, if he could win this fight right now, I mean, Dos Santos obviously would be next in line for a title shot. This is cool. I like the fact that Dos Santos has a little bit of a resurgence. It seemed, were people questioning his chin for a little while? It seemed like he was just on his way out, and something happened recently. Did he change camps? I have no idea.
I don't know what it was, but he did start to lose a few. I'm not saying this, but the skeptic could say, funny, USADA comes in and people start losing fights, and I did hear that theory thrown around several, just here and there, browsing over the forums and the message boards. I saw threads like that, so I'm not saying that's my theory. Before you clickbaiting assholes put a story out, that isn't my words. I'm saying I saw that on a lot of forums, but he's turned it around. And, sometimes with fighters, that's just the way it goes. It's a crazy emotional roller coaster. Sometimes, I mean, who knows? Maybe he had things going on in his personal life, that weren't too good. For a fighter, I was always very lucky for, in this regard. Rebecca was a strong woman and held down the fort and didn't cause too much drama in my life. Didn't cause any drama in my life. I don't know Dos Santos' personal story, so I'm just throwing out a hypothesis here. I'm not saying this is the thing, but sometimes for a fighter, if they're going through personal troubles, it can be very, very detrimental to his career. I don't know if that is the case, but my point is what I'm saying. Who knows what it is? But right now, he's back on track. He's looking as good as ever. That fight against Tai Tuivasa, he finished him off great. And Bam Bam Tuivasa is a great fighter that's got a very, very bright future in this sport. So who knows what it is? But it's just good to see him doing well again, because Junior Dos Santos he's awesome, man. He's one of the best heavyweights the UFC's had. It's
interesting to hear you talk about sort of like that psychological thing and personal things, maybe kind of getting into your head, because like the type of person that would even get into fighting and getting into a cage and doing that for a career, We've talked about it time and time again. You know, there's no money in the beginning. You're doing it because there's something there. That you have something in you that says, I want to go fucking fight people, which is sort of a crazy thing. To most normal people, that seems sort of fucking wacky and out there. And it's like, I can imagine more often than not, those people would be very emotional. Those people would have something about them that would like, you know, and then you're going through some shit. You know, I remember the guy in The Ultimate Fighter that like, whatever it was, dude, he just gave up The Ultimate Fighter because he wanted to go see his girlfriend and like jumped over the wall so he can talk to his chick. And it's like it's just, God, what were you going to say? You were on that
was
season.
my season.
Yeah, I was going to say that was your season.
Noah
Right?
Inhofer, season 3. No, I don't know if he jumped over the wall, but he got a letter from his girlfriend. I don't know how the fuck she got the letter to him, because I remember it, and I'm sorry to go off on a tangent here, but this is how bored and how long ago this was as well, but this is how bored we were, and I'd never seen such a thing. I believe you Americans call it teabagging. Kendall Grove was covered, they slept in bunk beds, and they wrapped toilet roll, tissue paper, toilet roll all the way around the bunk beds and stuff, and I was sitting there kind of like amused, bemused, shocked at the childness, how childish this was. But I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. This is what Americans do, is it? You know, some college frat house bullshit. And they're like, oh, this is so funny. He's going to walk in a minute. And I'll be honest, I was kind of interested to see his reaction when he walked in. And then he walked in, everyone go, hey, look, Noah. And he just went, huh, yeah, cool. And didn't give it anything, and like ruined the moment for everybody. And we're like, what the fuck? And then he comes out and he's like, yeah, man, my girlfriend, you know, she's gonna dump me. She thinks I've been cheating on her and all this type of stuff. And he wanted to make a phone call to talk to her, and Dana wouldn't let him. He said, nope, this is not how it works. You sign up for the Ultimate Fighter. And he had a point. Because if we give him a phone call, then we all want a fucking phone call. You know what I'm saying? As Dana said, it's up to you, man. If you want a phone call, you got to walk off the show. And sure enough, he did. He said, all right, see ya. And I was like, sweet. Because he was a big motherfucker. And I thought, he might give me a run for my money. I'm like, do you know what? If she's the love of your life, if she's the one for you, then you need to go, bro. You should. Hey. If it's true love and your soulmates, man, you got to follow your heart, bro. Come on, do it. Leave. And I'm like, yes, fucking he's gone. 1 down, 7 more to go.
That's hilarious, dude. Sweet. Go get her, big guy. And you know what's funny? I would bet you $1 billion that he is not with this bitch anymore. I will guarantee it. I wish there was a fucking, can we get that update? Can somebody find out if he's with her?
Can we not refer to fighters' loved ones as bitches, please?
Come on, baby boy. I live in New York City. It's just the way we talk. Very street.
Brother.
Very urban.
I won't accept it.
Stop being racist. Stop trying to stifle my culture. See, maybe that's the problem. Is you're a little bit too white.
White?
White.
Well, you're right. It is offensive these days to be white, male, and successful.
Imagine that.
Jesus Christ.
That you basically raped me. Just by saying you're those 3 things, you raped. So,
yeah, man.
Real quick, I
see Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov. Well, Conor's talking shit again. You see that?
What happened?
I don't know, Harrington. Go on, just break it down. What has been happening? I see it in the notes, and I did see something on Twitter. I know he did a podcast, Conor, recently. He's talking about Nurmagomedov. I think he's saying that Nurmagomedov is running from the rematch. What have we got, Harrington?
Well, he did a 45-minute sit-down with self-help guru Tony Robbins, and Tony brought up the Khabib fight. He said, yeah, Khabib won the match, but I won the fight. I landed the last blow of the night on his brother's eye socket. How can you leave that without vengeance? Come make this right. So,
send location.
Send location.
Send location. Very, very simple. You want to fight me? You want to do this? Send location. No problem.
I mean, I get where Conor's coming from. I don't really get where Conor's coming from. If I'm Conor, I want to go fucking fight Nate Diaz again. I want to fight Nick Diaz. That's the fight I'm looking for. Nick Diaz hasn't fought in 18 years. He's been fucking selling nunchucks and smoking weed at Vegas nightclubs. I have no idea what Nick is doing, but he's not been training for high-level fights, and that's a huge fight. I'd maybe want to fight Anderson Silva, But right now, while he's recovering that knee, there's so many other fights that are out there for Conor.
You mean Anderson Silva was recovering from getting kicked in the leg?
Yes.
Because he didn't tear it. Poor guy. He took a leg kick. You know,
Anderson Silva
I'm
right now
fight scenes for this show, Warrior. I got kicked a lot of times in the leg today. The guy that I'm doing the fight scene with, we're rehearsing, we're choreographing, we're doing the thing. And in the scene, I get kicked in the leg on like 2 occasions. And this motherfucker's dropping the fucking kicks in training. And he's got no shin pads on. But did I fall on the floor?
No way.
Did I roll around in agony? Did I, Lewis? Did I? Ask me.
Did you? Did you roll around in agony on the floor?
Nah, didn't
Wow.
do it, bro.
Well, this is the difference between you and Anderson Silva. We saw it in your fight, and we see it once again. You guys sustained the same exact injury, and you just walk it off. Right now, I imagine Anderson Silva right now in this moment, May 23rd, 2019, he's still jumping up and down holding his knee on one leg.
Anyway, getting back to the story at hand, you actually just said something good there.
No.
That's not bad. If I'm Conor, call out Nick Diaz. Yeah. Say, listen, I've already beat you, brother. You know, so bring on your big, not your brother. Yeah, I beat your brother. So come on, big brother, let's go. I don't think Nick Diaz is going to take that fight, though. I don't know. You probably do follow Nick Diaz on Instagram. My God, he's having a whale of a time in Las Vegas, that guy. All he ever does is at nightclubs, he's hammered, he's having a great time, he's surrounded by pretty young girls. Why would he want to get back into the octagon and fight? I mean, it's a shame because the guy has real talent. But as I say, you only get one life, and he's having a real fucking good one by the looks of it.
Dude, 170-pound fight, Nick Diaz versus Conor McGregor. Finally, Nick Diaz comes out of retirement. This is the fight to make for all parties involved. Nick Diaz would take that fight. Why wouldn't he? He wouldn't take the #1 money-making fight in the fucking world, and also a winnable fight for Nick Diaz. It's not a foregone conclusion. He's been on for so long, but fuck it, dude. It's Nick fucking Diaz. He could outbox Conor, get him to the ground, and fucking strangle him. That actually could. There's a viable way that could happen. I'm getting excited as we're talking about it.
Whoa. There's not a viable way. That is probably what would happen. Okay? There's weight classes for a reason. Okay, Nick Diaz is a big fella. You know, he's not a skinny little guy. He's bigger than Nate. He's a bigger guy. He's got more experience. He's very good. Nick Diaz is a reason he got so far as he did. But you're right. I mean, if Conor said that, you know, I reckon that Nick Diaz would come out of retirement to take that fight, avenge the loss of his brother. You know, the big brother steps in. For Conor, he gets to take out both Diaz brothers. Who has that on their resume? Nick and Nate? Fuck you both, you know.
The Diaz killer?
There's a great storyline. The UFC could promote it all day long.
It'd be the biggest fight ever.
Tempting for Nick.
It would be the biggest MMA fight ever, I think. I don't think you could put a bigger MMA fight on right now. The return of Nick Diaz versus Conor McGregor, the storyline, the brothers, there's not a bigger fight in the world right now. I'm getting goosebumps. If there's anything that happens in the world, that would be the one fight. I would fly anywhere in the world to watch that fight. That would be so much fun. The fucking Nick Diaz coming out, just giving him the middle fingers, Nate being in his corner, Conor not giving a fuck, the press conferences leading up to that. Are you fucking kidding me?
Do you know who wouldn't like it?
Conor?
Nate Diaz. He'd be like, fuck home. He'd be fucking fuming. He will be fuming. He's like, what the hell, Nick? This is my trilogy fight. Why are you coming in and stealing it? And he'd be like, you know, come on, little bro. You had 2 shots at this guy. You know, you made some money. Let me have a piece of the pie, please. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I think that would sell well. It wouldn't be bigger than Khabib. The biggest fight UFC could do right now is the rematch between Khabib and Conor. I don't think we're going to see that. Ali Abdelaziz is calling for Justin Gaethje versus Conor McGregor. I don't think we're going to see that either. Saying that, though, Khabib Nurmagomedov, he is free to come back. I think they reached a deal with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. So his suspension will be served very, very soon. So he'll be fighting Dustin Poirier, by all accounts, in July in Abu Dhabi. Is that correct, Harrington?
Well, they're actually going to take 35 days off the suspension, which lines up with the September Abu Dhabi card. So originally it was going to be through October. They took a month off to make it work for Abu Dhabi.
Okay, so and that was because he said he wouldn't fight unless his boys were allowed to fight too. So they they lessened all of their suspensions.
No, it was Nevada State Athletic Commission was, they enjoyed the good behavior. It had nothing to do with this.
So, but it was more than one suspension.
So Khabib got 6 months. His boys got a year. And Khabib said, I don't care what you give me. I'm not fighting until all my team is free.
So, and they made their team free early.
Yes.
Wow. I wonder how that happened.
No idea. Keith Kaiser and the head of the athletic commission just went, you know what? They woke up one day and said, do you know what? I've been following these young rapscallions on social media, and yes, they're a feisty bunch from Dagestan. But I tell you what, I see them in a different light now. You over there reduce their sentences purely out of the goodness of my heart. Young Dagestanians, step forward. You are free to fight once again. Yes, I like what I see. These guys have, they got very high moral standards. I guarantee it didn't go down like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever, dude. I don't give a shit. I like the fact. It's pretty real ass for them to just fucking not even give a shit. I in a weird way, I kind of respect it. Them going like, yeah, all right, somebody's palms got greased here. They're all fighting. Who gives a shit? It's silly anyway. What's the difference between it's not even like they didn't cheat. It was out of ring antics. So it's not like. I don't know. In a weird way, I don't really care. If it was because they got suspended for doing steroids or doing something like that and cheating, then I would feel a little bit more. But this is just like somebody getting, 3 days of after-school suspension instead of 6 days of after-school suspension.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a big deal. And, the economic impact on the city of Las Vegas for a big fight like Khabib in there, it owes the city a lot of money. Certainly if the rematch with Conor is going to happen, that's huge for them. So, who knows? Maybe that had something to do with it as well. What else we got in the notes, Hamilton? What else is happening in the world of mixed martial arts that we care to talk about?
Well, I see that they're going to induct Rashad Evans to the Hall of Fame as well, which is pretty cool.
And rightly so. And it will be happening, if I'm not mistaken, at the same ceremony that I am. I'll just say that while he beat me in the fight, I'm top of the bill at the Hall of Fame ceremony. It is what it is. Small victories, but you take him where you can. So, I might have won the fight, but I won the battle, Yeah,
so are you saying that you're more deserving than the Hall of Fame than Rashad Evans?
I'm just saying I'm top of the bill. That's all I'm saying. I'll leave it there. Now,
what else part of your class?
Let me turn this around real fast before I sound like a total asshole. I will say this. I was so happy to see that, because if there's one guy that deserves it more than myself, I mean, Rashad Evans, been around since The Ultimate Fighter Season 2. Incredible guy, awesome person, hell of an ambassador for the sport. Never tested positive, never had any scandal, put on some amazing fights, some amazing knockouts. And just a fantastic ambassador for the sport of mixed martial arts, and really paid his dues in this sport. And I love to see him getting the recognition. Well, he already had the recognition, getting, the gratitude that he deserves. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame 100%. So that's beautiful, Lewis.
Yeah, I agree. Rashad's incredible. I mean, he's I remember I was such a big Chuck Liddell fan when they fought, and he crushed Chuck Liddell's soul. It was nuts, dude. Rashad wasn't even known as a striker at the time. He was a wrestler who dropped down to light heavyweight. Nobody saw that being the way that Rashad Evans was wrestle fucking a lot of dudes back then. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden he fell in love with his hands. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that me and Rashad Evans had a very, very highly contentious split decision fight. And in Rashad's next fight, he knocked out cold the Iceman. When the Iceman was in his prime, Rashad Evans started the decline of the Iceman. I'm just saying that was his next fight after losing a very, very close one to me. So if you use MMA math, realistically, I could have knocked out Chuck Liddell in the first round as well.
Well, if you use MMA math, you did knock out Chuck Liddell in the first round. If you carry the 2 and you divide by 7, you're currently the UFC heavyweight champion. We've done the math before plenty of times. Okay, we know who the real champ is. Pound for pound champion of the world right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But listen, again, and Rashad, you know what? I mean, his career was incredible, right? It really was. He won the Ultimate Fighter, then he became the champion, and he stayed around the sport for a long, long time. Of course, now he's still involved. He's on the commentary team, working the desk, the pre and post fight shows, and it's always such a pleasure to work with Rashad. And he is now, he's a different man these days. He's an enlightened man. He's also vegan now, so him and Moby have a lot in common. I'm not saying that Rashad is stalking 18-year-olds, but who knows? Maybe he is. But he's like just a positive ray of light in any room. He's just like calm. He has a very calming presence to himself these days, and he's a beautiful human being. He really is.
Can I? That was gay. Can I fact check one thing? You said that Rashad Evans was the start of the decline of Chuck Liddell's career. That is not true. I was there. It was UFC 71.
Rampage Jackson, UFC 69.
71.
69 or something.
I was there. It was my first ever live UFC in Vegas, May 26, 2007. This is 12 years ago. In 3 days, it'll be 12 years ago. So crazy. My first time ever in Las Vegas.
I was there also. Are you saying that me and you were in the same room all those years ago?
Cross paths? Wow.
We walked past. We probably bumped shoulders.
Probably did. Like, who's this fucking guy? Yeah.
You're like this English sounding asshole.
I was like, grow some hair in. Grow some hair in, skinhead.
Like, look at this guy. He's gross. He smells. What are you doing?
And then Keith Jardine got a split decision over Chuck, which nobody saw that happening. Then Chuck beat Vanderlei to a very close decision, and that was Chuck Liddell's last victory. So, you when you beat Chuck, it was Chuck already on the decline.
By the way, that fight with Chuck Liddell and Vanderlei Silva, remember that?
That was awesome.
Oh my God.
That was a fun fight.
That was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. I think that was like a New Year's Eve fight or Boxing Day or something. Yeah, that was amazing. That was amazing.
I want to fuck Chuck.
So, yeah, once again, well done, Rashad Evans. Can't wait to work with you again. That's awesome. And we'll both be there at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. So that's, really, really exciting. What else we got?
Not much else. Let's get some questions going because we got to wrap this one up somewhat soon, Mr. Bisping. If you guys want to...
I'll tell you what, why don't you plug the podcast, the website, and all that stuff, and I'm just going to take a quick pee. I'll be right back momentarily.
Guys. Can leave the door open, though. Give everyone a little show. Come on.
I will.
I know. Look at, by the way, while he's in his underwear right now, you're going to literally see his ass. Look at it. There you go. Hey, guys, you love the show. We know you love the show. If you guys want to join the conversation, send us some questions. Shoot us an email at bympod@gmail.com. That's the email address. You can send us anything from fan questions, video questions, audio questions, fan art, questions, comments, dick pictures for now Brian, not even for Shannon anymore. If you want to send your dick pics to Brian, that's quite all right. Also, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe on YouTube, get all the latest video episodes absolutely free. Go to our iTunes page, leave us a 5-star ranking, positive review. And if you really love the show and you want to have every episode that we've ever done available at your fingertips on demand, go to gasdigitalnetwork.com, use the promo code BYM. You get a 14-day free trial. You have access to this show, 20 other amazing shows in the network, including Legion of Skanks and Real Ass Podcast, my other podcasts. And you get pre-release on these episodes, ad-free, and more. Harrington, we got some video questions? Yes, sir. I love it, guys. We love the video questions. Keep sending them in. Mr. Bisping is back. He didn't wash his hands. I want everyone to know that. Impossible that he washed his hands. No way he did it that fast.
Well, in a moment, you'll see that when I'm standing up, the veil is pulled back. The curtain is withdrawn. I don't have pants on. I have underwear on only.
I thought you were going to say soap.
We're doing a live podcast, okay? The moment this is done, I'm going to finish freshening up, put the gel in my hair that we spoke about, put some jeans on, wash my hands. We're live broadcasting to the world. I always wash my hands, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm not touching anybody. I'm not touching anything other than this microphone, okay? Thank you for trying to make me seem like some grotesque, unhygienic individual. That's not the case, baby boy. I'm committed to this show, and I'm willing to run the risk.
I've never washed my hands pissing at home once in my entire life, ever. Not once.
Oh.
At home, pissing? What's wrong with my dick? My dick is clean as shit, doggy.
Listen. I'm with you. If I don't wash my hands at home, here's the thing. I sit on the couch, right? and I have my hand down my pants all the time.
Yeah.
And my wife gives me shit for it. She hates it. Michael, remove your hand. I'm like, I'm not fiddling with my balls or anything. I've literally just got my hand down the strap because I don't know. It's just habit. It's nice and warm down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then sometimes I do wash my hands when I use the bathroom, but sometimes I go to the bathroom in my own house, okay, and I do touch my own penis. I've just had my hands down my pants. But if Rebecca doesn't hear the fucking tap go and the water going, oh my God, the lecture, the shit
So you
I
fake
get.
it. You just
so thank
fake
you for
it.
saying that, Lewis.
You just turn it on and just wait 5 seconds. Like, there we go. Great.
No. You can't do that because I have done that. You're like, touch me. Your hands aren't wet. You're a disgusting pig. You're a disgusting pig. Your hands aren't even wet.
You know what you're supposed to do? My doctor told me this. This is really true. You're supposed to wash your hands before you go to the bathroom because you are touching random things. These cells on people's hands. This is how HPV became so rampant. It was because you'd shake hands with somebody and these cells are everywhere. And then you go and touch your genitals after touching a guardrail. You're on a subway and all of these different bacteria and things from all over the world. You're putting it right out of your dick and then you're washing your hand afterwards. Washing it after is the least of your concerns. Washing it before is what you're supposed to do. And I don't do that either. So
no, well, I do wash my hands every time, but you're absolutely right regarding the handshaking and stuff. And not bigging myself up, but yeah, I meet a lot of people all the time, and people want to shake hands and stuff, and this happens a lot in the gym as well. People want to come up and they want to shake my hand. Hey, Mike, how you doing? And shake my hand. So now I don't want to do that. I don't want to shake your hands, and I certainly don't want to shake your hands when you're in the gym. You are working out. You are sweating profusely, and on top of that, you're wearing those stupid fingerless gloves.
And you're touching other people's sweaty equipment as well. You're doing...
Yes. But if you are a serious weightlifter and you're shifting serious weight, okay, maybe I'll give you a pass on wearing the fingerless gloves. But if you're in there and you're having the lightest of workouts and you're barely, working out at all and you're wearing fingerless gloves, I don't want to shake your hands for hygiene purposes, and I don't want to shake your hands for just idiotic purposes because you don't deserve a handshake. If you're wearing fingerless gloves to LA Fitness or somewhere like that and you're just literally, politely moving 10-pound dumbbells, you don't need to wear fingerless gloves, dickhead. I'm not shaking your hands for hygiene purposes, and if I do shake your hands out and about and you have sweaty palms, which happens a lot, what is wrong with this? Just wipe your hand. Give it a courtesy wipe on your ass, on your jeans, or whatever it is. A courtesy wipe before you present me with your sweaty palm.
Unless you're going to fucking make a business deal with somebody, this should be the rule of thumb. Fist bump. Always. Give a fist bump.
That's what I do.
Assume the person across from you is a germaphobe, and don't put it on them to make this awkward moment. It's rude because when you go to shake somebody's hand, or... The reason it's rude is because you're sort of putting it on the other person to have to be rude back to you and go, oh, I don't shake hands. And you have this awkward thing. If you just fist bump, it's a fucking thing. Everybody knows you're all good. Nobody gives a shit. Honestly, fist bumps, at this point, what's going to happen is our knuckles are going to be dirty as fuck. Really, what's the difference? Palm or fucking fist? But you're touching things, I guess, with your fingers and...
No, but still, but a fist bump is a way better way of not cross-contaminating germs from one to the other. I don't want to get sick, but I want to pay my respects. I don't want to say no. So I fist bump everybody. And then some people give you that funny look, like, oh, my God, you want to shake my hand? And it's like, well, your hands are gross. I don't know where your hands been.
Have you had somebody
and you got those
that?
sweaty-ass fingerless gloves on that haven't been washed in forever. Talk about a breeding ground for bacteria, you dirty weirdo, okay? And... handshake, you know how handshake, shaking hands originated, don't you?
No.
It was to prove you didn't have a weapon in your hand, if I'm not mistaken. Just Google that, Harrington. I think back in the day, you would shake hands with your right hand to say, listen, I'm not armed, I haven't got a weapon, I mean you well. And that's how it developed from there. And now it's just like a common gentlemanly way of greeting another person. I haven't got a sword. I haven't got a gun. I do not wish you any harm. I do not want to catch the flu from you, okay? So we're going to fist bump. So anybody watching this, fist bump me, please, from now on.
Harrington, what?
Well, that's why, like, when you see men when they grab each other on their forearms, it was to see if there was like a knife or anything up your sleeve.
I thought that was because old Jewish men are germaphobes, and they would just be like, "No, I don't want to touch your hand. Here, do that." That's the only time I've ever experienced that forearm grab is with owners of comedy clubs, old Jewish owners of comedy clubs, where they didn't want to touch a Puerto Rican. Yeah, that's okay. That's enough.
Probably a smart move as well. Probably smart. All right, listen, let's do questions. Let's wrap this one up shortly. What have we got, please?
Video questions? Yeah, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me know who it's from.
See. This one actually is an animation that was sent in. They took a story from the podcast about your Valentine's Day story, Mike, and they animated it. So let's take it away.
Let's see if it's...
Hold on. I don't even know what happened on Valentine's Day, but roll the tape. With volume.
It's fine.
I always hated Valentine's Day as a kid because at school, I never got a single Valentine's card. Greg Hardy has the ball. I was very unpopular. I know this is going to come as a big shock, but I was very unpopular with the ladies at school. I never had a single girlfriend. Are you intoxicated? Are you intoxicated? And used to piss me off. Everyone would get Valentine's cards, and not a single one, Lewis. Not a single one. But you being the heavy set fella that you were, you must have been a real hit with the ladies.
Actually, motherfucker, I've always been very good with chicks because I was funny. That was it. I was always like, it was a way to use women. They look at that as a sign of intelligence or whatever it is, and I've always hit way above my league when it comes to women.
Oh God, why does nobody love me? It says over his head.
Oh, but there is no hope, no light at the end of the tunnel. I just want somebody that loves me. It's not too much to ask.
All right, love it, dude. Credits. Who made that video? What's his name?
I gotta check. Give me a sec.
Yeah, give his name, Harrington. Give him some fucking respect.
I just want to say, I mean, that started off really good, and again, I love it, and thank you so much for sending that video in. A lot of effort, and it was great. It was starting off really good. It was so hilarious, but it was like a comedian setting up a massive gag with no punchline.
Yeah.
Oh, it was pretty funny when Yo Romero came in. It was all right. No, that was pretty funny, but. Started off great.
I give it a C+.
Climbing the mountain, did well, but then you fell off a ledge.
I give it a C+.
In my opinion.
I give it a C+. I think he did a good job. I like the creativity. Even taking the shot, I appreciate it. You're not gonna fucking
B-.
You're not gonna sink any buckets if you don't take the shot. I made that up just
B-.
now.
No, you're saying you miss every shot that you don't take.
No,
I think is what you were trying to say.
No, I said you're not going to make any buckets if you don't take a shot. It's a thing that I came up with, asshole. Don't try to fucking steal my saying.
So you take a shot of tequila and you make a bucket? It doesn't even make sense. It does not even make sense.
Harrington, give me some tequila and a bucket of chicken right now. You're making me hungry. Let's do it.
I'm starving. I haven't had dinner. I'm going to go down and not have a steak because I'm a Moby follower. There was no question in that, but I thank you for the video. That was great. Keep them coming, please. Harrington.
Do we have a question?
What else?
Let's get one. We get time for one question. Better be good. Go.
It's from our friend Millie.
Oh, Millie.
Hey, what's up, Michael Bisping and Louis J. Gomez? My name is Branteno64, and since everyone else is probably going to ask you about MMA, I thought I'd ask you about video games. We all encountered video games at some point in our lives, especially as kids, and so my question is, what is your favorite retro video game or video game console? And I'm talking from the Atari to the GameCube. Go. Oh,
okay.
And by the way, check out my channel, Channel 3, CH03, somewhere in the corner here.
We've said this before, no personal plugs, but okay, you got it in, Brantendo. Brand the broken, brand the fucking something, Brantendo, Channel 03. Lewis, I'll let you take this away because then I'm going to finish it with a heartfelt story about my childhood. Please, go.
Favorite retro console? I mean, I want to be cool and say like Atari. That's what I grew up on. That's in kindergarten. I remember going into kindergarten and being upset that I wouldn't be able to play Atari at home all day as my sister was at school. I remember just sort of having that disappointed feeling. But the amount of games, I grew up on Super Nintendo. I would probably have to say Super Nintendo is the one. N64 is great as well. I'm a Nintendo guy. It was never Sega Genesis. It was never any of the other consoles. Super Nintendo was the one that sort of developed my like for video games. So yeah, I give it to that system. It was fucking great. Super Mario, dude, on Super Nintendo was probably one of the best games ever.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I remember the first computer we got in the house. Well, we did have one of those things that had that, you know, the little thing with the thing that moves up and down, big, and you shoot, you know, you play tennis, and it's just like a little block. We had one of those for a while. Then one Christmas, my dad got an Amstrad CPC 464, which is a monitor with the keyboard and stuff, and you put in a cassette tape, and there was all these, I'm going old school. You probably didn't get these in the US because Amstrad's a British company. Roland on the Ropes, Roland in the Caves, there was all these old games. But then we progressed to consoles, and the Super Nintendo, man, that was amazing. And the Nintendo Entertainment System as well. And Super Mario Brothers was amazing. I remember for my Christmas, I got a Sega Mega Drive with Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh my God, I was a happy kid. Streets of Rage, and of course Street Fighter 2. I loved the Golden Axe. That was a great one. Lots and lots of great video games. But I remember as a kid, we went on holiday to Cornwall, which is the southwest of England, beautiful part of the country. It was where a lot of people go on summer holidays. The weather's good down there. And we went there for our 2-week holiday, and we were camping in like a massive tent. That was always a nightmare because my dad didn't know how to put the tent up. It always turned into World War III. Security guards would have to call to our camp plots, you know, because we were all kicking off. My dad was going psycho and nearly killing us all. Anyway, we had the beautiful 2-week holiday. And on the final day, by the way, I was playing in the arcade every day. That's all where I was. Every day I was in the arcade, begging for money off my mum and dad. Give me 20p so I could play this game, whatever. And there was this game called Crash and Burn. This is like 92 or something. And I was addicted to this game. And on the final day, my dad gave me a £20 note and said, go to the store and buy some milk so they can make a cup of coffee. I said, yeah, sure. Went there, bought the milk. I'm like, I'll just have a quick go on Crash and Burn. It's only fucking 10p a game. But me being a kid, you know, I died real quick. I said, it's one more, ting, another 10p. One more, another 10p. Anyway, I lost track of all time. I must have been in there for about an hour and a half and spent the near entire £20. Now, I didn't know, but that was my dad's last 20 quid that he had. And all of a sudden, I'm playing the game in the arcade, and I just get the biggest crack around the head. My dad had been looking for me everywhere, right? And he went ballistic because I'd spent the last 20 quid that he needed for gas, petrol, to get us home. Do you know what I mean? And I'd spent it on this goddamn fucking game. And he had to go into a bank and like try and get an advance and get them to give him some money, show his passport and all the rest of it for us to get home. Oh, yeah, I got a serious ass whooping that day. But I probably deserved it. But, yeah, Crash and Burn, there you go. But, yeah, Sonic, Mario Kart, Mario Brothers, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe.
GoldenEye was awesome. That was the first like shooter game that I gave a fuck about. That was so much fun.
Double Dragon, remember that one?
I didn't really like it. It was fine. Didn't love it.
Get fucked.
You were trying to be a badass. That was like you were like, I could be these guys. This is me. I'm a street fighter. I know what's going on with you.
Afterburn.
You're fucking.
You ever play that Afterburner?
No. You ever play Pressure Cooker? Or like I was a fat kid, so I played all the games where it's like, you know, you make a burger or you like fucking you make a milkshake, and it's like.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible. Way to kill the vibe, Lewis. We were having a great show. You killed it with bringing up random pressure cookers. Okay. I think on that note, we'll call it there.
That's it. Thank you for listening.
All right, guys. Thank you all for listening very, very much. Hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, thanks, Lewis. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Harrington. See you next time, guys.